Howdy Earendil, welcome back to the world of Fate, Throne of Heroes. We're gonna go into the native village of Ismarala because I don't know where else to find a river in this whole goddamn game. But so here we have native water with the native water shader. Right now I have a key, or I have a mission template set to when I press the K key, it'll run the operation set river shader to mud. So as you can see, water's pretty transparent. We can see for a good couple meters actually, like towards the edge, towards the middle, you can see actually, what is it, L? No, M. No, well, that kind of works. See about that far. But I'm gonna hit K. It swaps it to the muddy shader variant. Transparency is really affected. Can't see very far at all. Obviously, it changes the color, and then I didn't notice it changing. Got some effects there. I didn't notice it changing the water fog when you're inside of it, but it does change the Fresnel. So, from my estimation, my guess. Sorry, I'm talking to somebody else about their problems. So I changed it to say set river shader to mud with no expected. Sorry, it started raining out of nowhere. No expected variable. Swaps engine bool mud factor to true. It changes river material for muddy shader variant, affecting visibility and color. This part, after I started thinking about it and talking out loud to myself, I don't believe that's true. The set mud factor to true. I think it just swaps the material for the river material, or the material, the river's material that it's using, kind of like. Sorry, I was literally talking to him about it. Kind of like prop instance set material, because changing things within the engine usually, like I think changing a variable, like global inside the shaders takes a frame or two, while swapping materials takes no time at all. So that's my assumption. It could be changing this bool that you see here in the water shader. So, but knowing, but seeing the way they built the water shader, they built it into four variables, four variations as opposed to two, because you could just have this be a global and not have to look for it at all. And it would add a few operations, but it should still be within the PSX, PS2X number of operations. But anyway, so what it does is it changes it to a shader that has this bool set to true. So it makes takes the incoming color, darkens it by a lot. And then it using the Fresnel value, it interpolates between this colored, this texture color kind of brought down, and then the little like a browner version of the texture and the texture itself, makes it where transparency is completely opaque, which isn't true. So there must be another thing messing with transparency somewhere else, and then your up and down water fog colors get changed based on this mud factor being true. If true, use this color for the fog. If when looking up and down, whatever. Generally a darker, more brown toned. You also see it here, where all it does is saturate the color, based on the dot value. But yeah, and then I thought we set it to 1 earlier. We set it to 1. We multiply by 1.25. There. That's how it gets changed again. No, that's refraction. Anyway, so it's pretty simple. It just basically changes the shader to make these values true. So it changes some colors and changes the fog. If you look at it with deep water, we can hop real quick to a custom battle this will be at nighttime, but it doesn't change it too much. Don't mind the ugly faces. That's just how people look. And that's rude of you to call them ugly. No, I want to fly. Everything within that circle gets frozen and can't move. So this is normal deep water. I believe the scene has set deep water to true. From what I can tell, the mud doesn't actually change the water fog. It seems, or at least not for deep water. It could be that I'm too deep, or maybe it doesn't. It's not meant to have a flying character inside of it. But if we change it, it turns into this like toxic green color. It's very pretty when looking down, but looking on it at an angle is hideous. Sir, I'm gonna ask you to stop moving, please. Where is he? Why isn't it working? But yeah, from what I can tell, it's basically like a set instance. Ooh, whoa, that was cool. You can see the transparencies through the transparencies. Anyway, sorry, Earendil. I figured I'd record a video instead of typing up this because we both know. Speaking, I really don't care what I say. Typing, I'm kind of a perfectionist, and it'll take me hours to change it. I did try some other variations on this particular script where the global doesn't really matter. It's just a global that doesn't get used. And so I tried doing like a neg to unset it. You can never unset it, so it is a permanent operation for the rest of the scene. So it might be good if like you have like an effect where it starts like heavily raining in the middle of the scene, kind of like it is outside my window. But swaps. Let's just change it for muddy. Changes river material to muddy texture variant. I might do some more testing later to see if it just is setting the bool. If it is, it doesn't make sense why they would use the non-mud variant ever, unless they have certain bodies of water that they absolutely did not want to turn muddy ever, like ponds and or like fountains and stuff. But you never see that, so I couldn't imagine them going out of their way to make that kind of baked into the engine. All right, brother. I guess to reiterate one more time. Set river shader to mud is an operation that requires no variables and changes the river's materials shader to a muddy variant. That if you look at the MB source HLSL file, if you just go to if mud factor, it shows you all the technical details. Basically, it sets it to a redder, I guess genuinely brown color in most places. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you, brother.